Steve, let's talk about the lineup in game 2. This was a hot topic amongst White Sox fans on the twitter.com. It was a hot topic in the post-game show with Chuck Garfien. It was a hot topic in my household. I'm sure it was a hot topic in yours as well. And on everybody's cell phones across White Sox fandom when the second game lineup was delivered that didn't feature the likes of Jose Abreu, Tim Anderson, Luis Robert, Jake Berger was even benched. I'll go to you for your reaction to this first. There was some discussion in our Sox on Tap chat today about what that could have been. But I'll go to you for your comments first, and then I'll deliver mine.
What it appears to me, given how lackluster this team came out and how flat they were from the very first inning of game 1, it almost seemed like TLR was trying to be the bad parent today in game 2 particularly and saying, okay, you guys want to just come out here, fuck around, go through the motions, get your fucking dicks handed to you by this, team that you have a lot more talent than? Okay, fine. Sit your fucking asses down here on the bench and just watch. And you know what? If we somehow get lucky and win this game, whatever. But to me, it just seemed as though he was trying to prove a point today because, again, up and down that lineup collectively in game 1, it seemed like they were just going through the fucking motions from the very first pitch.
Steve, I agree with you, and I think that that's exactly what happened here. You see in the 9th inning, I try and read some of this body language of what's going on whenever we pan to the dugout, and you see Jose Abreu's got a bat, and he's swinging it around in the dugout. Luis Roberts behind him doing the same thing. You got to think these guys are itching to get in a one-run ball game in the 9th and have a chance to bat, and La Russa sticks with Gavin Sheets, who came up after Gavin, I believe it was Andrew Vaughn. And then, McGuire comes up after that. I thought that was kind of cold, honestly. I thought it was a very cold, stark message that, because if you're Jose Abreu, you're sitting on that bench, you're like, I might get in this ball game. I might have a chance to hit. And, I think the bad parent is exactly what this is. You sit down, you watch this baseball game. If you didn't come out to play, and Tony La Russa did make comments after the first game to say that, it's on him. The guys weren't ready to go, and here we go. I think this sends a message, and I hope it does. I hope this sends a stark message to the guys on this team. If you didn't come out ready to play today, we will play people who will want to play. I was a little annoyed at Chuck Garfien during the post-game show today, Steve, and some of the comments that came out of his mouth, honestly. He was talking with Frank Thomas and Ozzie Guillen, and he came on the post-game show and said, quote, I didn't like the lineup. I wanted this team to have a fighting chance in the game. And he was quickly met with some remarks from both Frank and Ozzie that, what good is Luis Robert in this game right now when he's on an 0 for 22 stretch? He didn't show up to play today. Why put him in the game for the second time? I was so appalled at the fact that even Ozzie calls him out and says, before this, you said you liked this plan and Chuck wanted to go with, I only liked this plan if it worked. I thought that was just absolutely brutal in the postgame show. I'm calling it out right here. I didn't like hearing that because it's the same whiny fan base stuff that you get on twitter.com every day. And it's just absolutely atrocious. When the team wins, yes, things are good. When the team loses, yes, things are bad. If La Russa was trying to use game 2 to send a message, I don't want to hear, the first words on the postgame. Well, I didn't like that plan because it didn't work out the way I wanted it to, but on the pregame show, I'm going to say that I like the sending of the message. I don't like the wishy-washiness. Another thing I will give Ozzie Guillen some credit for calling out Steve Stone on the atrocious send.
Okay, I got some thoughts on that
from Joe earlier. This one blew up in our chat as well. That was your ball game right there. And you know what? To a certain extent, Steve, lineup A in game 1. didn't show up today. I was actually kind of happy with what I saw out of lineup B. There were a couple of things, but I thought they had a chance to win this ball game. An atrocious send. I get the being aggressive. I'll let you have your comments on this. I liked Ozzie Guillen calling it out and saying fans at home are smart enough to know that that was bad. And the guys on the bench know that that was bad. And you know what? Guess what? If you have maybe a different lineup in there and that sends different, who knows? Might win that ball game. I hope it's frustrating for every single one of the White Sox players who had to sit on the bench in game 2 and watch that atrocity. Hopefully it sends the message, and hopefully the message is received, because the beatings will continue until the morale improves.